Okay, welcome to the next video. This is a really quick one and it's talking about joints. And what's kind of fun is you might want to play along with them and think about your own joints and how you move. Okay, so some of the objects, not all of them, but some of them have these internal joints that can be animated so that you can move things, right? We talked in class about right now if you just say move alien, it just glides kind of funny. Wouldn't it be kind of cool to get it to walk or wave or something like that? So a joint, meaning a knee, an elbow, a shoulder, that's what's connecting a subpart of the body to the rest of the body. Now you don't want to turn, you don't want to move a joint, you do want to turn or roll it. And think about it, think about your elbow. You want to be able to bend your arm, and as you bend your arm, you're kind of rolling it, aren't you? But you're certainly not moving it, you're rotating it. So play around as I'm talking about it and see if you see what I mean. What's kind of cute, what they did here is they took an x-ray, supposedly, of an alien to show you all the different subparts, all the different body parts. All right, so you can take a look at that. They did it again for this cute little doggy, and it shows you more of the subparts as well. So what's interesting is one subpart can be connected to another one, and what that means, if you rotate the first one, it might rotate the other one. For example, as they say, think about your left shoulder joint, okay? Got it? You might even want to touch it. If you have a straight arm and you're just turning the left shoulder joint, in other words, rotating your arm, well, that's also going to rotate your elbow, your forearm, your wrist, your fingers, your hand, all of that, right? And if you were just going to do the elbow, you'd have everything below that. Try it out. See if you see what I mean. If not, ask me in class. So how do you do it? Well, we've played around with this a little bit already with Alice and turning her head. So for the same idea, if you just click on this little arrow right next to whatever you're talking about, in this case it's the alien, then it tells you about all the different possibilities. And like I said, you've already done this with Alice's head. This is a really useful thing, and opacity is very useful as well. So if you make something have an opacity of 0.4, that means it's kind of see-through. If it's an opacity of 1.0, it means you can totally see it. If it's an opacity of 0.0, that means you can't see it at all. So they made it 0.4 so that you could sort of see it, and then they also showed the joints. I don't know if you can see, whoops. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but there's a little box down there. You click Show Joints, and look, it's highlighting all the joints. That's super cool. All right, you can also check out the orientation of a joint. If you stand up straight right now and let your arms hang down, then open them a little bit as if you're about to do a jumping jack or you just started to do a jumping jack, you can figure out that the orientation of your arm is going to be different than the orientation of your head. And that's what they're demonstrating right here. So here's this alien, right? His orientation is like this. And if you just look at the green arrow versus the red arrow, you can see it. Versus the arm, look how different that rotation is. That's just shoulder joint right there. That's pointing that way as opposed to that way. Right? So that's worth thinking about as you are rotating it, because the way you rotate things, it's all about the orientation. You should never try to move a subpart. What they did here actually can't happen. You cannot actually separate the alien's head from its body. It's been photoshopped in this picture. But you don't want to do that, right? So don't use move, use roll and turn. And we talked about that in the last video, so I'm not going to get into it again. But as you click on the joint, if everything's working according to plan and you have this rotation going, you should see the little green circle, the little blue circle, the little red circle. So play with this, you know, just load something into Alice and play with it and you should see what I'm talking about. Remember that the red handle is going to turn the joint forward and backward. The green is going to turn it to the left and right, and the blue to the, rolls it to the left and right. Frankly, it's not worth remembering that. Just play with it and see what happens. You can always undo if you do it wrong. Okay? And if you want to listen to somebody else talk about it, then you know that this video is on our website. And that's it. Hope you had a good time.